Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast with Jay Gordon Duncan. And if you're wondering why the J, the answer is I'm not a bagpipe player. And if that joke doesn't make any sense, I encourage you to check out episode 0, where I explain that joke, as well as the purpose of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast, where we talk about faith, family, fitness, finances, and sometimes fun. Well, friends, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Thank you for listening to last week's Richmond Marathon recap. I have spent the week celebrating. I've spent the week recovering. It's hard to believe that was a week ago. It's hard to believe that I accomplished the goal of qualifying for the Boston Marathon, but it's been wonderful. My body is slowly getting there. I still have just a couple of creaks in there from the race, which is to be expected, but I am back running again, starting to shake out some of that soreness. Thank you for everyone who congratulated me on both the race and qualifying for Boston. It meant a ton. And I really appreciate the run heavy episode listens, because I know not everyone out there is a runner, but thank you so much. And this week, wow, it wasn't a week where I could just do nothing. This week, I had a Tuesday seminar on the Small Business State of the Union with Lisa and Kevin. They were amazing. Lisa Glenn Nobles and Kevin Powell. Check them out. And then on Thursday, I had the honor of speaking on branding at the RPM Regions ribbon cutting in Colonial Beach. That was a blast. And then I spent yesterday speaking at the Teen Enrichment Network, which was wonderful. I got to speak to around 50, 60, 70 teens. I don't really know the number, and got to speak to them on developing a business growth mindset. So it was an amazing week. It was not a week where I could sit around and do nothing, but I really enjoyed it. It set me up really well to run into the holidays. So we're going to work this week and then enjoy the time with my family. And that is the topic for today. I would like to offer to you 3 strategies that are going to help you be mentally and physically healthy during the Thanksgiving weekend. We do know that at this point in time of the year, there's a lot of seasonal depression. There's a lot of holiday depression. We wind up spending time with people sometimes that we just really don't want to spend time with because of family, and that is a choice. But we wind up putting ourselves in situations a lot of times that are at least stressful, even when we're around people we love, because you start getting a bunch of people together. I spoke to someone just yesterday who said that they're getting together with 43 people for Thanksgiving, and there's no way 43 people can get along, even in the best of families. And so I'd like to offer 3 tips and strategies. These are things that I implement and I have tried my best to implement. And I think we've done prior episodes about this before, but let's go ahead and hop in. So for the Thanksgiving holiday, here are 3 tips to stay physically and mentally healthy. You might even get more than 3 because I've got a big old list here, but I'm going to start with this. 1, I encourage you to choose this week to move actively every single day. I always tell people you do not have to run like I run. No, very few people want to run like I run. Other runners do. But if you choose to move actively every single day, you are going to be mentally and physically much more clear and much more satisfied with how you feel. And if you're like, well, Gordon, I can't do much of anything, then I'm going to encourage you to just move 15 minutes twice a day, or look up on YouTube and figure out how to do chair yoga. Or if you are a walker, go for long walks. If you're a runner, go for runs. But don't neglect that, because what that does is if you do it in the morning, it's going to set your body and set your day. It's going to get your metabolism moving. And if you need to in the afternoon, maybe you've had that long meal, you go for a walk or some sort of movement with family, it's going to counterbalance the temptation to just be sedentary for this week. And though many of us are looking forward to taking some time off and lowering the momentum and the speed of things, adding in some movement every single day is transformative. I really cannot at all, I can't emphasize enough that afternoon walk. I know for my family, quite often that's something we do. My daughter Meredith and I have often done a Thanksgiving morning 5K. I don't know if we'll do it again this year, but we've done it a bunch of years. I'm going to propose and see if she wants to. But for me, I don't lay off the movement. I'm not actively training right now. I'm still in recovery mode. It's going to be another week before I start training. Again, I'll tell you about that later on. But it doesn't mean I'm just going to stop moving. My muscles need movement for healing, and your muscles need movement for your physical and mental health. So commit to moving every single day. during the Thanksgiving week. It's going to make a difference, even if it's only a 15-minute walk. And as I'm apt to do, let me take a sip of my coffee. All right, gang, number two. I'm going to encourage you to be fully present with the people that you're with. Fully present with the people you're with. Now, hear me out. There's a temptation when we quote unquote have to go to a Thanksgiving event. And I don't know if any of us have to go anywhere, but there's a temptation when we have to go and we know that there's a crowd that we don't really enjoy. And what we wind up doing is we kind of set back into the shadows and slink back and don't fully interact and commit a conversation. And I'm telling you, and you're not going to believe me, but listen to me, it takes more energy to be in a crowd and try to hide and only offer a word or two there than it does to be fully present. What does it mean to be fully present? Well, I'm going to let you define that. But for me, that means I'm going to engage in conversation. I'm going to be a good listener. I'm going to pursue other people and see how they're doing, because that is a positive energy flowing throughout the room that I can control. But if I'm trying to just kind of slink and be there, then that is a negative energy that people notice. And so people are like, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And then are you dealing with those conversations? Or I'm strategically trying to find a place where I can hide. And that is a ton of energy. I'm going to encourage you. Now, you can't do it the entire day, but like when you're with people, when you're at the table, when there's a gathering and you're there, that's when you fully commit to be present. And fully committing to be present requires good positive energy, and it requires less energy than trying to be anonymous or quiet or on the back end or unseen. I know these things are not easy for everybody, and there's anxieties that come about in every group setting. But if you tell yourself, I'm going to be fully present, and you know what? I know what's going to happen. You're going to bump to that person that annoys you, and that's going to lead me to point three. And I'll talk about point three in a minute. But commit to being fully present in gatherings with people. So if you're in the kitchen working, be in the kitchen working. If you're in the yard working, be in the yard working. If you're sitting around watching the football game, be fully present, especially at the table. If you're doing a big Thanksgiving dinner meal, be present in there as much as possible. I'm telling you, it takes less energy to be fully present than it does to try to hide and be anonymous and not interact, because you're constantly trying to do that. It's a negative energy. People are trying to come get you, and you don't want to be found. So you've got a couple of days to work that together. So number one was commit to moving every single day. Two, commit to being fully present in gatherings with people. And three, this one's important, take moments of retreat. Take moments of retreat. Even if you get lots of energy from the crowd, even if you love the crowd you're with, I'm going to encourage you to just get away for just a couple of minutes. In the midst of that chaos, sneak away for just a couple of minutes. Be strategic. I don't know if that's just going to the bathroom. I don't know if that's just going to the room and catching your breath. But if you commit to, because that fully present it might take a lot from you, or that slinking away is going to take a lot from you. Just step away for a few minutes. Don't necessarily make it like phone time, because you might just get caught up scrolling, and then that life on your phone seems a lot better than the life you're living. Don't do that. So like just get away 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, a couple of times a day. You can even tell folks, you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna step away for a couple minutes, got to catch my breath. I'll be right back." Most people will appreciate that. If the people you're with don't appreciate that, then just step away for a minute. Just kind of slip away. Catch that. For some of you, it might be just stepping outside, getting some fresh air. Some of you might just be going to the bathroom and just kind of sitting there for a minute. Some of you might be in another room, whatever the case may be. Don't make it obtuse. Don't make it a big deal. Like, where's Gordon going? Just take a moment and do that strategically. I know I will do that, despite the fact that I'm an extrovert, despite the fact that I can bring a lot of energy. There's just gonna be times in the midst of all this, I'm like, I've just got to step away for 2, 3 minutes. And I'm telling you, it's a mental reset that's going to bring you energy when you go back into the room. So those are 3 quick strategies. There's a lot more. I'm not even talking about diet and health. We can talk about diet sometime later. But here's what I want you to commit to. I want you to commit to daily movement, maybe even twice, like 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the afternoon, more if you can do it. 2, I want you to commit to be fully present with whatever group you're in. Be fully present, engaging, conversational, or at least aware of everything that's going on, not slinking away. And then 3, take a couple of moments of retreat and don't apologize for it. just slip away. You don't even have to tell people what you're doing. Just slip away for a few minutes. And I think these strategies will be a big help for you. So I hope your Thanksgiving holiday is wonderful. I hope it's full of celebration. And I also hope you're able to implement these strategies. I will, and I'd love to hear how they turn out for you. So, friends, thank you so much. I love your faithfulness to the This Is Going to Hurt podcast. Got a lot planned coming up. I appreciate you listening and watching every single week. And I look forward to talking to you again next week. Thanks, friends. Bye bye.